The session is for 1 hour. It's 5 minutes late, so we have 55 minutes to go. Okay, so these two worldly famous CEO. I don't know if I can call you CEO, Mr. Ma, because you've stepped down. You've retired, right?
Yeah, I retired in September.
Yes, on his birthday. Back in, I don't know when it was, but Mr. Son, I think it was 15, 16 years ago that I've interviewed you on TV, and you, after that, brought Mr. Ma to me, and that you wanted me to interview Mr. Ma. At the time, no one knew who Mr. Jack Ma was. And what were you thinking at the time?
Well, that was only 4 or 5 years after Jack had started Alibaba. So Alibaba was very small back then.
We're still very small now.
But in my mind, somehow I completely believed that Alibaba will be very, very successful and Jack will become a big person. So I wanted you to know that this guy is really going to change the world, and Alibaba is going to become such a significant company. So I wanted you to know.
Thank you so much.
I think I was right?
You were perfectly right. As a matter of fact, after that, I met you, Mr. Ma, at Davos and at the summer Davos in Tianjin. And there are people surrounded you the whole time. I couldn't even go close to you. And you see these changes in 2 decades, or maybe 1? Well, how did you feel about that?
Yeah, I think I'm happy. Young people believing, most of young people like the points we talk about. And I'm very happy that in the past 20 years, we get involved in China development, internet development in the world. And I think what we believed 20 years ago, it's becoming the truth. So people like us, but not because we're smart. People like us because we work hard, we believe what we're doing, and
Okay, so two of these gentlemen's relationship, it goes back to 2000. 2000 was the time that you two met for the first time, right?
Yeah.
Yes. And some say that it was legendary 5 minutes. Could you tell us a little bit about that 5 minutes?
I think that was actually 10 minutes or so.
10 minutes.
But I went to China, right? Year 2000 was a peak of the internet bubble and start to, climb
Decline?
down. Yeah. But still, people were wondering what is internet. And China back then was just the beginning of internet. And for me, investing internet companies in US and expanding to Japan, but for me, next was going to be China for sure. So I went to visit China and met maybe 20 startup companies, and one of them was Jack. And I met with all those guys. Each of them I gave 10 minutes or so. But in the middle of those guys, only one guy, somehow, the Jack, struck me as the one that I want to invest. So the first 5 minutes I was asking Jack, so what are you trying to do? And Jack explained. All the other guys had business plan and asking for money, and they were explaining about the business. But Jack was the only one, did not ask for money. You know, Jack was not even business plan. It's just talking about what the future should be, why the startup companies, small startup companies in China should have the opportunity for their dream to come true. And Jack was only talking about philosophy.
Philosophy.
Yeah.
Jack?
Not
Shall I
the
call you
business,
Mr.
not the business.
Even to today, we talk about the philosophy.
But Jack was the only one with the eyes sparkling and caught my heart.
I ask myself, we'll talk about the money and the business. We talk about what we believe, what we would change, right?
Yeah, exactly. That was always the case. Every time I meet with Jack, since the first meeting up to today, you know, we don't talk about the money. And Jack is not interested in money that much, okay?
Why were you there though, Mr. Ma? Why
Pardon?
were you there?
Well, I remember that day, one of my friends, he said, please go to see a person called Masayoshi-san, SoftBank. Of course, I've heard about him. So I have no intention of raising money because I just got a $5 million raised 2 months ago. So I went there, I thought it's just a talk. It's a one-on-one talk. When I went in the room, there were about 20 people there. I said, and then I just talk about what I believe, what's going to change, only for 5 minutes, and Masha said, no, let's talk about how much money you need. I said, I don't need money. And next 5 minutes, he tried to convince me you should spending more money, you should using my money, and this and that. I said, wow, very strange person, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that we started.
Well, did you want to become friends with him?
Well, yes, of course. You know, early days, very few people, a lot of people talk about internet, but not so many people really believe in internet. You try to find those people share the same vision, same value. That is very important. That is called friends. And yeah, you know, dogs and I always said dogs and wolves, they look alike, but dogs know that is a wolf. Right? So I think that we are the same animal, and I'd love to share my ideas, my views with him, and how internet will develop in the world, in China, and how we can work together.
He just, Mr. Son said that you didn't have any business plan at the time, and after that.
I have a plan, but I don't have a business plan.
Excuse me?
I have my plan, but I don't have business plan.
I see, okay. Okay, so that does it mean that he turned out to be your mentor? Like,
well, we're not the mentoring relationship. We just talk about what we believe each other. We exchange ideas. We talk about how we should change people's life, right? How can we contribute?
Yeah, I think the past 20 years we're like friends, partners, and soulmate on making internet happen. You know, we both know each other very well. I know what he's good at. He knows what I'm good at. I know what he's not good at. When you know somebody, the most important to be friends or partner is that you have to know what he's strong at and what he's not good at. If you don't know what he's not good at, you can never leverage his good at.
so what about?
Yeah, you know, he has a great vision. He believes in the future. He has a passion. He probably has the biggest guts in the world on doing investment.
Yeah.
Right? Very few people in the world have that courage.
Too much guts, sometimes I lose a lot of money.
I know. That's why, you know, I said the guts he has probably the biggest one, which I've seen in the world. That's he believes in the future. And when you know that he's good at, And then you, as a friend, you have to help him. You have to work in together. You have to show what I'm good at. Then it will be a great partnership.
Right.
Yeah, we had a lot of agree, we have a lot of disagree. When we have a disagree, we debate, we fight, and then that's called a friendship.
So you do fight,
Of course.
argue.
Of course you have to, but we're not like a fight, like a street fight. We're fighting like, you know, I have my idea, he has his idea. We finally get agree on each other. Perfect. That is the relationship as a partnership it should have.
I see.
It's not a politeness, I mean.
Yeah. So what Jack is most good at is that, you know, he care about the people. He care about the training people. He's most good at identifying this person is good on what. So he's not expert in programming. He's not expert in mathematics. He's not expert in law or the accounting. But for him, those specific subject is not important. There are many experts who is best in programming, who is best in accounting and financing and so on. His way is to bring those best guys or make the young guys get trained to become the best in each subject. And then he aggregate and assemble, he create the best team.
But I
That's
guess-
that's what your strength and what's your interest.
Yeah, yeah, what we
So
would believe in it.
last night, he and I were having only one-on-one dinner, as we often do. We were talking a few hours only about the philosophy and how the organization should be, right?
Yep.
Why don't you explain a little bit of that?
Last night at
Yeah, as a leader, you know, when you are CEO, you are the leader of the company. You have to lead the direction. The direction is the future. You will see, when everybody see good side, you have to see bad side. When everybody see the bad side, you have to see the good side. You have to see the things the other people don't see, and you lead them. You encourage them. You enable them. You inspire them. And then we have the direction. You have to share with the team and build up a great team. Find the right people, training them, enable them, discipline them, empower them. And then when you have a good people, you have to have built up a good culture that those people feel comfortable to be better. And I think the best product of the company, the first and most important product of every company is your employee. If you cannot improve your employees, I don't believe you can improve your service and your products. Just like the best product of the university is your students. And I think in a company, the best products is our people. So empower the people, that means you empower your business. And then how to empower your people, it's not about discipline, it's about the value, about the mission. So all these things that I feel love in that. So I call myself CEO, is a Chief Education Officer of the company.
But you know, the first time you met Jack Ma, Mr. Jack Ma, in 10 minutes, how could you even tell, even by the look in his eyes, that he is worth injecting, I think it was $20 million, right, at the time, for him to do the business? It's kind of a very risky thing, but I think you can see whether this person is capable of what as well.
No, as Jack said, you know, between dog and wolf, they look similar, but those dog and wolf, they can find each other, they are same animal or not the same animal. I could smell him, right? We are same animal. we are both a little crazy.
Yeah, people say we're crazy, but we're not that stupid, right?
Right.
We can be crazy, we should not be stupid.
So, as I said, the first 5 minutes, I tried to listen to his philosophy and his vision. But the way he talk, I listened to many people's presentation. And many of them are logically very correct. But their passion, their true belief is not in their heart.
Can you tell?
I can feel, okay? So they have a beautiful presentation, beautiful pictures. But if their heart, if their guts is not in there, but Jack, I've never seen Jack bringing presentation material.
Wow, never?
No.
Never. I've never seen him preparing presentation material. But when he start talking, his passion and the belief, right? It's fighter's spirits. I can feel, right? And then, so after 5 minutes, I said, Jack, I get it. I understand. You're going to change the world. Take my money. And he said, no, I don't need money. Take my money. No, I don't need. I had to spend the next 5 minutes pushing for him to take
Convince
the money.
him.
Yeah, I think the first offer he gave is put the $50 million in the company. I said, no. Too much for me. $5 million to me is already enough money.
Yes.
Because at that time, I never ever see $2 million in my life before. And I think unless I have a great CFO can help me to manage the money, then I will accept the money. And so when I have the Joe, my CFO, and Joe and I discussed, I think 15, 20 will be enough. So I sent him an email. He sent me an email, and I say, well, not 50, and it's about 40. So, no, 20. He said, I agree.
Really?
Yeah,
Even that
it's not
$20
bad.
million?
I never ever in my life, I never ever tried to convince people to give me money. It's always job done by my CFO Joe Tsai.
Right.
And I say, if your people, your friends, your investors don't believe in what you are doing, don't know what you're doing, what you were fighting for, the money, you're cheating them. So that's why I went to Wall Street when we IPO. On the IPO day, I say, in my company, we believe in custom number 1, employee number 2, shareholder number 3. And everybody was very upset, the investor. How could you? Wall Street, everybody said investor number 1. I said, no. Employee, customer number 1, employee number 2, shareholder number 3.
Right.
One of the investors said, Jack, if we had known that you are investor number 3, we will never invest in you.
Ooh.
And I said, please sell my stocks. I never lied to you. To me, I put customer always number 1. Because it's the customer that pay me. And then it's employee that are creative. Then if the customer love me, employee is hardworking, creative, the shareholder will invest. Nobody, no company can live on shareholders.
Right.
We only live on the market. So that is our philosophy. We say what I say. I never give you PPT, PowerPoint. I have my plan, but I don't have the plan you want. This is the plan we have. We can discuss about plan, but this is the plan we believe in. We can modify it, but I can never make a plan that you like. Most of people go to venture capitalists or to go to investors. They design for what you want. I feel that's no good.
So I guess Mr. Song kind of realized that how talented you are by not even bringing one, right? That's very unique. After 2 decades, now when you look at each other, what do you think of each other in one phrase? What do you think of Mr. Song in one phrase now, after 2 decades?
Yeah, we're both getting old.
Both getting old?
But it looks like, we are still passionate about future. We still believe in the future. And he's still fighting for the future himself, and I'm still enable my people to fight for their future. That's the difference. We both, we believe in what we're doing.
Right. What about you, Mr. Song?
Yeah, Jack never changed, okay? As you can see, He never chased money, but he does what he believes he have to do. And now his new mission is to change the world again and again by raising young entrepreneurs. And that's his mission. But from day one, first time I met him, he was still saying that. So in that sense, he never changed. He's changing the way to do it, but his belief from day one, I don't think has never changed. And you were a teacher before that.
Right, right.
So Jack was always interested in making younger people grow, right? Small entrepreneurs grow, small merchants to grow. Give them the hope, give them the dream, opportunity to fight for, right? That's your interest.
Yeah, still your interest always invest in people, right? That's what you're doing.
Yes. Yes.
We are too old to change, too stubborn to change.
But is that the very significant qualification for becoming entrepreneur, successful entrepreneur?
Yeah, you have to have, as entrepreneur, you have to believe in future. If you don't believe in future, you can never be an entrepreneur. And as entrepreneur, you must believe in teams. If you don't have a team, nobody can do anything good, right? You have to find a team. And as entrepreneur, you have to be optimistic. There are a lot of upset things happening every day, but you know that you have to solve it. You have to be optimistic.
Right.
So I think we are, I think I am this kind of person. I love to take challenges. I love to work with the people, and we believe in the future. That's who we are.
So one thing that common between Jack and me is that we never had enough money day one. But we are both optimistic, and when we have a big dream, big passion, money will somehow come, right? So, but we have to have a great vision and passion and create a team to make it happen.
Right.
And you chase the money escape, right?
Right.
But if we chase the dream, money chase us.
Yeah. You don't make mistakes when you don't have money. When you have too much money, you will make a lot of mistakes. And now when you have money, people like us, when you have money, that means you have more responsibility. The money that within Alibaba or the money I have, that's the trust people giving you, that you can manage the money better. So the more money you have, the more responsibility. You want to do something, and you have to take responsibility for the others. So when we were poor, a lot of people want the money. But when you have as I said, when you have $1 million, that's your money. When you have $20 million, you worry about the valuation or where to invest, inflation, buy stocks or buy houses, a lot of headaches. When you have $1 billion, that is not your money. That's the responsibility, that's the trust people giving you, that you will manage this money better than any others, but the government, but the other. So that's, lots of responsibility.
I see. This is mainly the session about AI. And very specifically, for example, Mr. Son, you are now investing overall $100 billion to AI Unicorn, which is a late-stage venture companies. And so you are very much committed to AI. And as well as Mr. Ma, you, for example, Alibaba has applied City Brain in Hangzhou, your hometown, which is like solving traffic jam, like controlling the traffic lights and having driver lead the driver which route to drive and those kind of things. So those are all used by AI. So you are all investing in AI. I would like to know, in both of your minds, what kind of society, what kind of life or world of an AI that you are visioning at the moment in your mind?
Well, as you said, we have created a vision fund, and we have already invested, almost $90 billion already. So I'm now preparing for the fund 2. Again, I'm going to invest same kind of scale. So in next 10 years, I would continue to invest more and more, because the world need continuous revolution. I'm lucky that with coming AI revolution, this time I have prepared enough money to make significant changes, helping young entrepreneurs. So, some people have to invent everything by themselves. But for me, inventing everything by ourselves is not most important. For me, identifying the best entrepreneurs, best technology, and young and crazy, passionate entrepreneurs, and help them to change the world. And when we bring a multiple of those entrepreneurs, start to change the world in their way, and if we can collaborate, it becomes even bigger wave. So that's what I'm interested in. So we were talking about our difference. Jack is more interested in people and the employees. I am more interested in technology itself and model itself. And of course, the entrepreneur is the key captain for each of those. So when I see those new technologies, new business model, I get so excited, and I go deep dive into very much detail, and that's a great fun for me. It's a joy. It's almost like a hobby. That I cannot sleep because it's so fun. I'm not doing for the business purpose. I'm not doing as a job. It's such a fun that I get so much excited. I get so much involved, and I start engaging with entrepreneurs. Each of them, very deep dive and so exciting. Sometimes I get too excited, but that's where my joy is.
I've heard that you have like conferences like 14 hours straight, and have I don't know whether you're sleeping, but you can do that every single day almost. And so people surround you. I mean, they must be having a hard time catching up, but how could you have a conference like 14 hours straight?
No, that, as I said, it's not a job.
Okay, it's for fun.
It's for fun, I cannot stop.
I see.
My adrenaline start, coming in. It's an excitement.
Okay, yeah.
It's a stimulus to the intellectual
I see.
thing.
So AI is fun.
Yes.
And for you?
Yeah, we started the AI about almost 10 years ago, but we do not call the AI artificial intelligence. We call it Alibaba intelligence.
I know. Yes, AI, Alibaba intelligence.
You can never operate a company like Alibaba, so much data, over 500 million consumers. We are operation guy. So with the help of a machine, we can operate our company much better. and we can run our business much better with all the technology. So we call it AI. And human beings are moving from IT to DT. DT is data technology or digital technology, not Donald Trump, as I said. Right. So IT is to empower yourself. DT is to empower the others. You like, the DT time comes. If you don't like it, the DT time comes. So what I believe in is the future will be better than today. Technology will bring lots of great things to the human beings, but technology will also bring troubles to the people if people are not ready for it. When you see so many people worry about AI, that means they're not ready for that. You hate AI, AI comes. You like AI, AI comes. So the thing you do is get ready for that. And now I'm retired. And I put most of my time in changing people's mindset. For example, the education system today we have.
Yes.
In the past 200 years, the whole education system was teach people to survive in industrial period. We make people remember more. We make people calculate faster. We make people smarter, knowledgeable. But today, we are going into the digital period. Computer can remember faster, more. They never get angry and upset. So they can do much better job than you are. Everything we teach our kids, the content that we teach our children, the way we teach our kids will be changed. 50%, at least 50% of the jobs that we are having today will be replaced, will disappear. So it's scary, yes, but it's exciting. If we start to change the education system, if we start to change, past 20 years, we make people like a machine. Now, we're making machine like a people. So we have to change the way of education, making sure our kids are creative, constructive, and innovative, making sure people are human beings, not machines. So that is the way you can catch up. So I feel that the future is going to be better. The only thing is that you may not be better if you don't start to change, start to learn, start to embrace the future.
Well, I know regarding AI, both of you are very optimistic, and that Mr. San, you're saying that AI can make people happy.
See, that's the thing, okay? When I and Jack smell each other with the same animal, we don't have to convince. We believe the AI is coming, for sure. And we believe, we are optimistic. AI is going to bring exciting new society, exciting new technology to make people's life better, okay? This fundamental belief, we don't have to convince. We naturally believe from the heart, okay? That's why we are friends. That's why we are the same belief and vision that we can fight together to change the world.
To increase those types of people, as what Mr. Ma has mentioned, that education needs to be more creative and constructive. Specifically, I mean, can you think of a way of changing the way of education?
The kids have to debate. Kids have to be creative. Kids have to communicate with the other people, okay? So if you look at today's, for example, Japanese education at the school, in the classroom, mostly they are quiet and taking notes.
Yes.
Try to remember. Try to memorize the formula. Try to memorize in history what year U.S. was discovered.
Yes.
Right?
Memorizing calculations. Yes.
I think you don't have to memorize. You can just Google it.
Right.
Right? So instead of being so quiet and self-contained, you should rather debate, you should rather communicate, you should create together. Because that's something we all still need. We need more of that, okay? Instead of, as Jack said, man become like machine. People should become more like a people. The way it's supposed to be.
Yeah,
So I say only 150 years ago, there was a Meiji restoration, okay? In this Meiji revolution, the society dramatically changed. But even back then, 90% of the job in Japan were farming. 90% was still farming. Today, not 90%, maybe 5%, maybe 2%. So 95%, 98% job who used to do the farming drastically changed. But did we all lose job? No, we create new job. So we always find new exciting stuff to do. But as Jack said, we have to change. We have to change the education. We have to change the way we think.
Yeah, I think what Masa said, right, we all believe in the future, but the way we do go to the future, we are pretty different. I'm not a big guy of Googling things, but I think it's better that if you remember these things, you don't have to Google, it's better. But you have to Google and Google it. But the very important is that when you finish, we go to school is we want to learn the way of learning, right? So people like me, I finished my college 4 years, bachelor degree. I am extremely happy, but I learned a lot in my life. Society is the best university. So I think what we should encourage our kids is to keep curiosity, keep on learning all the times. Human beings are born to be learners. When kids, they were born, they're curious about everything. They're learning all the time. But when you get a PhD degree, you don't learn. You think I am the master. Now when you have Google, when you have this, no, this is no good. People have to learn. Keep on learning. The best university is society. The best teachers are the mistakes. And I think the other thing is that the society is going to, I agree with Masa, that people worry about the jobs. Oh, we're going to losing a lot of jobs. No, don't worry about it. You will only work, in 20, 30 years, human being only work 3 hours a day and 3 days a week. Trust me. My grandfather works 18 hours a day. He's very busy. My father and I work 8 hours a day and 5 days a week. We are very busy. I tell you, our grandson will work 3 hours a day, 3 days a week. They are very busy. Because industrial period, we focus on manufacturing. Manufacturing created a lot of jobs in past 100 or 200 years. Next 200 years, service industry is going to create a lot of jobs. And people always on the road. For us, we probably, in our generation, we visited 30 cities a year, our life. My grandfather only visited 2 cities in his life. But our grandchildren will probably visit 300 cities. Their life. They're always on the road, learning, sharing, and it's different. So I think it's not AI is bad. It's you are not ready for that. That is bad.
I see.
Yeah.
Mr. Ma, you were saying eventually it will be work 3 days a week, 4 hours a day.
I hope so.
Has it changed to 3 hours a day?
Yeah.
So it's becoming less and less.
There's less and less.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the progress the society is making.
I see.
And people start to enjoy life. We come to this world not to work.
Yes.
We come to this world to enjoy our life. Technology is supposed to help us enjoy our life, not to make us work more, right? If technology make us work more, I don't like technology. I, as a company of Alibaba, I try to make technology simple for everybody, working easy, buy easy, sell easy, deliver easy, pay easy. So this is how the purpose of technology.
I see. I think the audience, as well as young people that are looking at you too, have the ideal way of what life, because you have purpose and you have conquered them, and you're following your dreams still, and I think it's an ideal way of life. Now, I would like to ask two of you that maybe as you've grown in the past, when you were young, like maybe a teenager or in your 20s, there must have been something that must have influenced you, or you were inspired by so much that kind of made the core of your philosophy. Now, I would like to know what that was. Do you have any?
Marcia, you want to start?
Yeah, okay, so first of all, you said we have, achieved something.
Yes.
In my view, I have not achieved anything yet. This is a beginning still for me of what I want to do. So I'm still a challenger, and every day I'm still fighting, and my passion and dream is more than 100 times bigger than what I am right now. So I am still only first step to my 100 steps.
100 times.
So anyway, my passion is still, very, very active. And but back to your question, what inspired me when I was young? Okay, I've encountered with one book, 龍馬が行く by Mr. Shiba-ryotaro. I was 15 years old, and my private teacher said, this is the kind of book that you have to read. And I read it. I couldn't sleep that night. I start reading before the dinner, until the morning. I couldn't stop reading. And it's seven books, right? 8 books, something like that, 8 books maybe. And every day since then, I couldn't stop until I finished reading. And that changed my life entirely. I said, this is the great person with a pure heart, with the revolution in his heart. And he devoted his whole life to create a better world, to make people's life happier. So I said, wow, what am I doing? I'm studying at the ordinary school and having a fun life. This is not good enough. I have to go to check the rest of the world. And I said, okay, let's go to US. I want to find out what's going on over there. And so that book really changed my life. And I've read that book maybe already 5-6 times, again and again. Every time the new stage comes, I read it and remind me. But every time I read, the way I understand is different. Because I learn from my life. With my new stage of life, the way I understand, I think, is becoming deeper and deeper.
Yeah.
What about you?
Yeah, I agree that I don't think you say we achieved something, but we have not conquered ourselves. We have not conquered our career yet. I think when people will know whether you succeed or not succeed, where you achieve or not, only the day when you die, that you check the balance, right? So only when you cash out, you know whether you win or not. So I just finished my 55 years. Life for me is declining, but the life of helping others is coming up. As I said, when a young man, when you're 20 to 30 years old, it's better find a good boss rather than a good company. When you're 30 to 40, it's better do yourself, try. When you're 40 to 50, do things you're good at. When you are over 50 years old, you should support young people. And when you're over 60 and 70, you spend time with your grandchildren. That is all the life about. So I think I would not say achieved. I will only say the day when I leave this world, I say how much, what's the balance. And about my believing, it was like I love Kung Fu stories. I love martial arts people. And I find those great guys with martial arts and Kung Fu, they always fight for justice. They always fight for the other people. They always try to solve and save the other people. This is what I love about. So I wish that with the technology that we've got, the thing we know how we get, we can make a lot of things better and change a lot of things, or improve a lot of things. I have a great passion about it. And now, since my passion is moving from running business myself to helping other people to run business, helping other people to do things. So yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Sakamoto Ryoma was someone who inspired Mr. Son.
Yeah.
Who inspired you the most?
Oh, a lot of people inspired me, but I think I love a lot of Kung Fu figures in Kim Myung's books. A lot of people never exist in this world.
I don't know.
No. Yeah, a lot of people. It's not necessary you copy one person. When I was young, I loved to have a role model. I have one. But today, for my age, I realize that everybody, you can learn great things from him. Bad things or good things. There's no perfect person in this world. There's no worst people in this world. There is always good side. When everybody says this guy is a bad guy, I'm very curious and go to find out the good side of this guy. When everybody said that is a great guy, I love to find out some problems. Because many people say, Jack, you're a great guy. I know I'm not. One day I was reading a newspaper, a magazine on a plane. Somebody's telling a great guy, and I say, oh. When I turn around, they're talking about me. That's not me. No, that's not me, right? So we should not live in the other people's eyes or thinking. We'll be ourselves. No matter how successful you are, you're only nobody. I mean, you're just a guy. With the help of the society, with the other people, you'll be there. So I think the older we are, the role model is be yourself. That's it.
So
then you don't have a burden. You just want to do things. I just want to enjoy it.
I guess, yes.
Yeah, so as Jack says, I said Sakamoto Ryoma as the one that I love a lot. But that was a beginning of my journey. I also love and respect, the maybe 10 other heroes that I have in my mind. Different angle, different kind.
Okay.
But everyday life, to me, my father is someone that I respect a lot. Okay, even today, I respect him a lot, and the chat I have with him, inspire me still a lot. Okay. I also learn from young employees of our company or young entrepreneur who's just started the company. I respect them when they have a sparkling eyes. So that never changed.
Okay.
Yeah, it's the spirit of passion, believing, team working, and changing,
Right.
helping. These are the things you can find not only the old people but also young people. Honestly, I find a lot of young people. Every time I go to university, I'm excited because I see their eyes, the gleaming. If you go to university, these people like old people looking at you like this, you're in trouble,
Okay, yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so could we have extra 5 minutes because it was late, sort of? Thank you. So could you give us a tip? What would be the most important element to the young ones that they must nurture while they're young? What, if you are to pick one element, what would that be for young ones?
Have the big belief in your own dream, passion on your dream. Stronger passion you have, you would achieve more.
Okay.
Yeah, my advice is be optimistic and don't complain.
Excuse me?
Be optimistic and don't complain.
Oh, don't complain.
Yeah, a lot of people, young people complain. I find those people love to complain, they complain all their lives. Those people find complaining is the opportunity. When the other people complain, if you can figure out the way to solve it, you make progress. So I think as young people, that believing that the future is good, believing change yourself, and believing opportunity lies in the other people's complaining.
Right, to solve that, right? That turns out to be the business.
Yeah.
That's the way you look at it. Okay, I think this is common between you two, that you have mentioned that you would like to have 300 years lasting company. You would like to nurture your company as a 300 years lasting company. I didn't think I was going to hear that from Mr. Ma, but then I don't know the word. I don't know why 102 years.
Okay.
Why 102 years?
Well,
that would span off to 3-century age of a company. I don't know what.
Yeah,
why that
102 years when we started Alibaba, we were born in 1999. Last century, we had 1 year, and we wanted 100 years plus 102 cross 3 centuries.
Ah, I see.
Very accurate.
Accurate.
Yeah, very accurate. So I don't care after 102 years what Alibaba will be, and I cannot care. If I want to care, it's about training our young people, believing they can succession plan that make happen. So 102 is good enough for me.
So Mr. Ma, he has stepped down as an executive chairman, which was announced 12-month time in advance, and then he actually did step down on the 10th of September this year. And why he did that was, he says that he wants to keep the company alive for the next 102 years, and that would lead to eventually to span off to 3-century years old of the company. And so 3-century year old, and Mr. Son have already mentioned that 300 years old company as well. So at last, I would like to know what your company would be like after 300 years.
Well, I hope, okay, as a founder of a company, I worry about the future of our company all the time, okay? After I pass away, can our company continue to grow? Can our company become more important company for the people's happiness around the world? So as a founder, as a DNA designer, architect of our company, our organization,
Yes.
I always think about that. If we have one product, one business model that can last 30 years, maybe 50 years. If we have a great organization, great vision and philosophy, and create the right culture, we're supposed to last, something like 300 years. Maybe 200 years, maybe 500 years, I don't know, but hundreds of years. That's my belief. That's how I want to intend to design our organizational architecture, the philosophy, and the culture. Even the vision, it's difficult to envision what's going to happen in next 300 years.
Even 100 years.
Even 100 years is difficult. So it cannot be specific. It cannot be too specific, but it can be philosophical or directional vision. I think the information revolution or AI revolution, this kind of thing, enhancing people's brain using the semiconductor, the computing technology,
Right.
this kind of direction will continue. And I think I want to create an organization that can last and continue to become more and more important, a significant company. That's my wish.
Yeah, when you're really serious believing that your company can last 100 or 200, 300 years, is that there are two examples. Church, universities, they last for 200, 300 years.
Well,
And why, how they can do it? Because they have a great leader. They have a group of people. They have a book. They have a belief. So only when you have a great leader, have the philosophy believing, and they have a group of people who believe in not the leader, but believe in the philosophy, behind the rules. And a book that is about culture. And then continue. That's the way you do it. So I hope, after 102 years, Alibaba, if they're still surviving, they have to figure out what problems they can solve for society. What direction that this company can lead their customer to the future. So that is that value. If the company has no value, it's better to die. If you have a value, continue fight for it.
Last night, did you talk about that
Yes.
at the dinner?
Yeah, we always talk about philosophy. And so to me, just be a little bit more specific about what is my organization strategy that I have to last 300 years.
Is it going to be long? Because we're running out of time. We have
Just 1
2
minute.
minutes. 2
1
minutes.
minute.
We have 2
1
minutes.
minute.
Yes.
Okay? So if we have one product, one business model, it cannot last 300 years. If we have 50 companies, if we have 100 companies, 100 business model, 100 different technology, 100 entrepreneurs within our group, and those entrepreneurs or company may change, and we bring additional one. We always have the best and most shining new entrepreneurs of that age within our organization. That is Vision Fund, and that is SoftBank Group.
So overall, the group family sort
Yes.
of survives. And
As
keeps
a
on going.
group, as a cluster.
Right.
That's my strategy. But keeping one belief, one vision, which is this digital revolution can make people happier. That's our belief.
Mr. Ma, after your step down, would there be Alibaba in Japan?
Will Alibaba what?
In Japan?
Alibaba in Japan, yes, of course. They are here, and I think they enjoy, and that's what the thing is. Alibaba come to Japan, the same question asked. What things they can do in Japan that can help Japan create more jobs, can bring Japan young people more inspired. If without that, don't come.
Because I want to see.
Yeah, it's all about not coming here, make making money in Japan. It's coming here, do good things in Japan, and then you will make money, then you can sustain.
The business model is very unique. They outsource, right? So
Yeah.
we don't have that kind of business model in Japan, so I guess, yes.
Thank
Well,
you.
thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you so much.